Hey guys, what's up? This is Ninja Gamer of Ninja Gaming 101, and today, welcome to a very special video. This is gonna be a video of my top 5 favorite Sonic games. And before we get started into this video, just a little warning for you guys. This video is gonna contain opinions. Yeah, I know, shocking. So if you guys don't like those, then do me a favor and leave this video, because I am not dealing with any of your drama. But anyways, before we get started on this video, don't forget to smash that like button and also to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so already, to make sure that you don't miss a single minute of gameplay, live streams, or anything else I do on the channel. But without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the first game of this top 5. The first game on this list is a Sonic game that came out all the way back in 2011. And that game is Sonic Generations. It was very heavily hyped up and was made to celebrate Sonic's 20th anniversary. In the game, you can play as 2 characters, Classic Sonic and Modern Sonic. In the gameplay with Classic Sonic, you run through stages within Sonic's past in a 2D perspective, using the spin dash we all know and love, and also using special set skills you get throughout the game. This playstyle was put into the game to satisfy the Sonic fans who really liked the Classic Sonic era. And in my opinion, Sonic Team did a very good job with it. Classic Sonic feels amazing, even with the upgraded 3D Hedgehog engine from Sonic Unleashed. In the other gameplay style, you blaze through different levels and bosses with Modern Sonic, using the boost, stomp, slide, quick step, light speed dash, and anything else you can use within the level. Modern Sonic stages are both 2D and 3D, and usually they have many different paths you can take to finish the level, just like with Classic Sonic. Admittedly, once I finished the game the first time, I never really went back to the Classic Sonic stages, since modern stages are the most fun to me. But both gameplay styles are pretty awesome in the game. However, there are a few problems I have with this game. The first problem is the story. It wasn't all that deep. In fact, it pretty much just surrounded Sonic's birthday and then his friends getting kidnapped. Not really all that intricate of a story. But then again, this is just an anniversary game. Also, even though Classic Sonic feels amazing, his gameplay doesn't feel exact to the Genesis days with Sonic 1, 2, C3, and Niggles. And of course, we have that final boss. Jeez man, it's so bad. Sonic's friends talk too much, you can barely even use Classic Sonic. It's very underwhelming. And it's just a really disappointing boss for such a good game. Also, I really wish there were more stages in the game. There's only 9. There should be way more in an anniversary game. But, that may be just me. Sonic Generations will always have a special place in my heart. Even if with its flaws, it still stands to be a great Sonic game to this day. And that's why it's number 5 in my favorite Sonic games of all time. Number 4 on my top 5 is a game that came out all the way back in November of 2005, and that game is Sonic Rush for the Nintendo DS. At the time this came out, I was only 4 years old. However, a few years later, at the age of 7 years old, my mom gave me a Nintendo DS for my birthday, and with it she got me Super Mario 64 DS and Sonic Rush. Me not knowing who this Mario dude was, and having previously played Sonic games on my GameCube anyway, of course I played Sonic Rush first. And boy, let me tell you, that was one of my favorite games at that time. In this game, you can play as either Sonic or Blaze. With both characters, you have a boost and a selection of aerial tricks that you can do to fill the boost gauge, as well as the spin dash. However, the 2 characters are a bit different. Blaze is slower than Sonic, but to make up for that, her tricks can propel her high into the air, fastly forward, or even hover in the air for a few seconds. Sonic is the faster of the 2, and his tricks allow him to maintain his current speed. The reason I loved this game so much as a child was because of the speed. It felt like the perfect Sonic game. You could boost, use tricks, maintain your speed, and the levels, unlike in other Sonic games, were built to reward speed and skill. That's what I like in Sonic games. The story was also pretty good in my opinion. It introduced Mega Eggman and Blaze, one of my favorite characters in the series, just because of how independent and chill she is. And I would love to see a 3rd game in the Sonic Rush games, even though, to be honest, it probably won't happen. Because of this game's speed and story, I grew to love this game, and I can even continue to speedrun it to this day. So because of this, it has landed as number 4 on my top 5 favorite Sonic games. Now you may be asking, but Ninja, if you like Sonic Rush so much, why is it only number 4 on your list? Well, my friend, number 3 on my list is a game that came out first, all the way back on the Sega Dreamcast, and that game was Sonic Adventure. Sonic Adventure was the first successful Sonic game to be completely 3D, and it was a very good game, especially for its time. The game had 6 selectable characters: Sonic, Tails, Knuckles, Amy, E102 Gamma, and... oh god, no. No, please.
Oh no!
Anyways, there were 5 characters in the game. Within Sonic's gameplay, you could speed through many different open levels using Sonic's Spin Dash, Light Speed Dash, and Homing Attack. Pretty much what you would expect, the goal is usually to get to the goal. With Tails' gameplay, you essentially do the same thing as Sonic. The only difference is that instead of a Spin Dash, you have a Tails spin move? Who came up with this?
Oh no!
Tails' gameplay puts Tails in races against Sonic to get to the goal using his flight and different moves. Just as you would expect, Tails is just following Sonic on his adventure. With Knuckles, you attempt to go through the same levels everyone else does, trying to find the shattered Master Emerald pieces. Knuckles, please, for my sanity, try not to let this happen anymore! Anyway, you use his glide to pretty much go above stages and find 3 shattered emeralds per stage, ultimately bringing the Master Emerald together once again. Going to Amy's story, you find yourself doing something you probably didn't think would ever become a gameplay style. You literally run away from a robot. Like, this isn't a joke. You literally run from a robot and get to a goal using slow speed and a hammer that does almost nothing against a robot except put him down for a set just for him to rise up again and kill you. Best gameplay ever. Moving on to the gameplay style that is totally the last one, we have E102 Gamma. His gameplay brings something very unique to the table, especially considering this is a Sonic game. E102 Gamma is one of the Eggman's robots, but he has somewhat of a emotional characteristic, unlike other robots. With him, you can go through different levels, using a built-in gun to shoot random robots and targets throughout the area, essentially racking up points and beating up the occasional evil Eggman robot. These 5 gameplay styles all give very fun variety to the game, and really do give a sense of, well, a Sonic adventure. I mean, who wouldn't love a game where an emerald is shattered and you have to get it back together, you fight some random water monster that keeps on coming back, and you destroy everything in your sight. And there go all the viewers. Well, all jokes aside, this game truly is a gem, especially for its time. Every time I play it, I get a sense of nostalgia, and I feel happy remembering my childhood. And that is why this is number 3 on my top 5. Moving on to the number 2 slot, we have Sonic Colors, a game that came out back in November of 2010. Sonic Colors was a game in which Sonic and his buddy Tails snuck into Eggman's interstellar amusement park, trying to stop whatever evil plan Eggman was surely carrying out. Pretty early into the game, you find that there are alien beings called Wisps that Eggman is trying to capture to power his new evil plan. And it is even said that these Wisps could be a rivaling power to the 7 Chaos Emeralds. But as soon as Sonic learns of this power, he uses it to his advantage. In the gameplay, Sonic is thrown into 3D and 2D environments, blazing through with his Sonic speed. There are also 8 different Wisps Sonic can use to help him on his adventure. The first one is the White Wisp. These little guys give Sonic the power of boosting through the stage, sort of like the boost from daytime stages of Sonic Unleashed and Sonic Rush. The rest of the Wisps are a little bit more gimmicky though. We have the Laser Wisp, which propels you off of walls to reach new pathways, the Drill Wisp that allows Sonic to dig through certain surfaces like dirt and water with Sonic speed, the Rocket Wisp that sends Sonic flying into the air to reach higher areas of the stages, the Spike Wisp that allows you to spin dash on walls, the Hover Wisp that allows Sonic to fly around for a short time and use the light speed dash with rings, the Cube Wisp that, when used, creates new platforms and destroys enemies in the area, and finally the Frenzy Wisp that allows Sonic to plow through everything in his path. Sonic uses all 8 of these wisps to secure a big win and save the world from Dr. Eggman once again. Honestly, I find Sonic Colors to be a very fun game, not only because of the huge selection of optional wisps, but also because of stage variety. There are 6 different worlds that all share the same theme of an amusement park and give a really big sense of variety. Whether it be running through a candy-filled world, a world of water, or even riding a roller coaster, you'll definitely be able to find something you like. Not to mention the very fitting music and remixes in each stage that give the game that much more charm. So bringing all this together, I can definitely come to one conclusion. Sonic Colors is one of the funnest games I have ever played, and it has come very close to being my favorite Sonic game of all time. However, there's just one game that takes the cake for me. Now before we move on to my favorite Sonic game of all time, I want to take a look at some honorable mentions. These are games that I like a lot and didn't think to be on the top 5 list, but I still wanted to show appreciation to. Here are some of them now. Okay, and we're back. Some of my fans may already know what's coming, but I'll say it anyway. My favorite Sonic game of all time, coming in the number 1 slot of my top 5, is Sonic Unleashed. Now before you go disliking this video, let me explain. Sonic Unleashed, first of all, is a beautiful game. Both Sonic's model and his world are very, very detailed, especially in the cutscenes. Secondly, contrary to popular belief, I actually like Werehog stages. Sure, they aren't Sonic style, but they still feel very fun. There are many different combos you can pull off to defeat your enemies, and it feels especially satisfying when you defeat that one boss or level you've been stuck on for ages. Also, the game is very, very polished. There are hardly any major glitches that mess up your game, which I am very appreciative of. But there are 3 glitches I would love to talk about: M-Speed, D-Speed, and QSS. Now, admittedly, I don't know whether these glitches were intentional or not. I also don't really care because these are my 3 favorite glitches not only in Sonic games, but also in any game I've ever played. It took me quite a while to learn how to do these glitches, but it was worthwhile since now I can literally fly through stages as if they were nothing. Unless you count all the restarts I always do. Help, please. Oh, by the way, for those of you that say this shouldn't really count as a reason, I suggest you go ahead and give these glitches a try. Whether they are a legit way to speedrun or not, they are still a part of the game, and very fun to pull off. I encourage everyone to at least try them, as you may actually find them to be very fun to play with. That includes you, Super Sonic. Unlike most Sonic fans I know, this game has grown to be my all-time favorite Sonic game. There are so many enjoyable things in it, and I think these things are worthy of high praise. And that's why this game is my favorite Sonic game to date. Well, there you have it. That was my top 5 favorite Sonic games. This project took me a while to do. In fact, 3 weeks to animate, script, record, and edit to be exact. So as a result, I would really appreciate your support on this video. Share this video to every Sonic fan you know and love. And also don't forget to tickle that like button and subscribe for future videos. Go ahead and comment down below your top 5 Sonic games as well. And otherwise, that's all for now. Thanks for staying to the very end. Peace, my Ninja fam, and take care. This was the funnest project I've done yet.